Hello, this is the new Caribou, the Honorable Sir David. You got that much down? Damn. Emperor of Salt Lake City, Sultan of Utah, spiritual advisor to questioning Mormons, the Bard extraordinaire. I can't remember anything. I can't remember where my glasses are. They're on my head, you know. Okay, just a few comments. I wanted to hit the Mormon Church a little bit with lowering the age of missionaries. That at 18, when a boy graduates from high school, he can go right on a mission. So he can be putting his papers in before he graduates from high school. Now here's what I see. And, you know, I have to pat myself on the back. When I said it would be a landslide against Romney a year ago, I was right. Better than the prophet Joseph Smith. I have one prophecy that has come true. So, send me your money, send me your 14-year-olds, and give me everything Joseph had, because I'm a more worthy man. I have higher standards. Send me the 18-year-olds. Anyway, here's what I wanted to say about the 18-year-old boys being able to go on missions. I want to give you my memory. Now, it's a sad thing, my memory, because I sometimes can't remember my name, and I swear, when I'm watching TV, the commercials these days are way too long. I forget what I was watching, and I start surfing again. And, you know, I'll be sitting there watching TV, and I'll start to doze off, and I have my headphones on so it doesn't bother anybody else in the house. And then I wake up and I find I'm tuned to a Spanish-speaking channel. I go, how the hell did I do that? I'm surprised that I can drive anymore. I am. Sometimes I go down the street. Of course, I always forget where I'm going. I have to have Allison, my 9-year-old, go, Dad, we're going over to Home Depot. Oh, okay. Where next? So anyway, without the 9-year-old, I can hardly get around town anymore. And I always forget off-ramps. I've had off-ramps that I've been going off for over 10 years, and I go right by them. I go, gee, this doesn't look familiar. Jeez. Ah, the old age. Well, anyway, I'm looking out of my Australian basement apartment, and man, it's snowing and it's beautiful. You know, I have this great big huge pine tree in front of my Australian apartment, and it catches snow and it looks like a Christmas tree. Okay, anyway, let's go to the subject, which I can't remember. No, I do remember this one. I'm going to give you a little bit of my experience as I remember it as a child. Now, I'm almost 65 years old, but I do remember, like most old people, we remember way, way back. At the last 10 minutes, we don't know shit. What's your name? Oh, you're number 13. Okay, Allison. No, 14. I forget her number. She's 14. Anyway. When I was 15 years old, I got a job, and it was working for R.C. Merriam. Now, R.C. Merriam owned outright the Merriam-Webster Dictionary Company. He lived in Ojai, and he had Parkinson's disease before there was L-Dopa, and it was very crippling, and my job was a personal aid to him, from feeding to changing the TV channels to changing his pants, taking him in the pool, and riding him around town when I could get him in the car. I worked sometimes night shifts. I remember watching the Cisco Kid. Damn, you that are 65, and most of you die. I get a lot of people that are 65 that watch me, and I tune in the next time to look at my demographics, and damn, they're gone. So anyway, the Cisco Kid and the Lone Ranger on TV. So, I've worked since I was 15. The Merriams were very good to me. I worked there at 16, 17, and 18. And I worked other places. I worked for Mignon. Now, that's not a steak. No, not a Mormon steak, a steak you eat. Her name was Mignon, and she thought I walked on water, and she saw the potential in the Sultan of Utah. No one else did. Even me, I didn't see the potential. So I washed her car all the time. Well, she drove it sometimes, but I was on the outside washing the bastards, and they paid me well. They paid me well, and I remember they lived way up on the mountain away from the city, and the damn hornets and bees chased my ass every damn time I washed that car. And I was very quick to do the outside, and then I would jump inside with the radio on and get away from the bees. And I do remember too that I had a little lawn mowing company. I would go to people's house, I was fairly young on this one, and say, could I mow your lawn for 10 bucks? And, well, in those days, could I mow your lawn for 10 cents? And they go, yeah, go ahead. And I bought my own lawnmower, and I bought my own edger. And I walked from house to house through the neighborhood, learning to work. I later became a glazer at a very young age, which is a glass man. Or a glass woman. Well, I have seen glass women. I think, what was his name? Lot. He saw a salt woman. I've seen glass women. And yes, I have taken my meds, but it'll take another half an hour for them to kick in. So, when I graduated from high school, I was working at the Miriam's day and night. And I bought my own 57 Chevy. I painted it black. I paid for that. Tuck and roll, you know. A tuck and roll in those days was not bowing your head and rolling across the lawn. A tuck and roll is special Mexican upholstery. And it looks cool, but sometimes they used horse dung to pad the tuck and roll. And you always had to check that they weren't using horse crap in your car. So it was a bitchin' car. It's just a little what was that? A 283 engine in it with a 2-barrel. But I look cool. I look cool in a 57 Chevy. But anyway, I worked, and I worked hard. I worked for Jones Paint and Glass down in Provo. Now they're down in St. George now too. And God, I worked in the winter time and blowing, you know, snow and whiteouts. I'm putting windows on the outside, broken windows, of people's homes. And I froze my ass off. It was terrible. I hated it. But I had to work and take care of myself. And I remember I went to Mrs. Miriam in the summer, and I said, you know, I'm going to BYU. And she says, well, I'm going to buy you some clothes, because if I give you the damn money, the Mormon church gets 10% of it. How I didn't know in those days how right she was. So anyway, I thought, well, I'll take the clothes and then just give 10% of my socks and go barefooted to be a Mormon. I asked her for more money, and I said, what can I do for more money? And she said, well, you can do the yard work. So this is Ojai, California, and God, it was anywhere from 90 to 105 every day in the summer. And I raked the leaves in her front yard and put them in bags and got them, you know, into the trash. And then when I was done with that, I said, well, is there anything else? And she said, well, that lot out behind us we own. Do you want to take a weed whacker and knock those weeds down? Now, folks, in those days, weed whackers didn't have motors on them. They had children on them. And I was probably in high school, 17, 18, trying to pay for my car. And so I had a hand sickle, not a bicycle. I hadn't had one of those in years, but I had a hand sickle. And I'm going back and forth, hitting the damn weeds and cutting them down. Well, it didn't take too long before I hit another hornet's nest. And I'm running around like a crazy Mormon kid trying. And they thought I was really working hard, but I was trying to save my ass. Because the bees were chasing me and stinging me. And my hands, when I got done with that damn job, my hands were bleeding. The blisters had broken, and they were actually oozing blood. Now, I'm not pretending I'm Jesus. I wasn't in that much pain. But damn, my hands were bleeding, and I did learn how to work. And when I came out of high school, I worked. I had to do, I remember I was in a little hamburger stand. Back then, McDonald's was very small, and we had this hamburger stand down in Oakview, California, and I got a job there. And God, I was still 17, 18, and I was making hamburgers, and we called them malts in those days. Now I think you call them shakes or frosties or what's the other word you guys use? I can't think. Allison knows, and she's not here. She's at school, so I can't tap her little brain. But anyway, I worked there, and I closed at night. It was like 11, 12 o'clock when I closed, and I had one night a group of Fonzies. You're all too old to remember what's the name of that damn movie or TV? Happy Days. Well, there's a bunch of Fonzies that came in, ordered some crap, and I started making it for them, and then they started screaming and yelling. They wanted to change this, change that, and I knew they were just screwing with me. They didn't really want any food, and one of them grabbed me here and pulled me through the window like I was going to be his, and maybe put it on his side window like the roller skating girls. Well, you know, one of my gang member friends saw this going on, and he came over and he said, you know, that's going to be the new Caribou. And he kicked his ass. He threw him over the hood. The guy let go of me. I went back into the hamburgers and pretend like, you know, nothing was going on. So anyway, I learned how to work my whole life. And this is what I want to say about lowering the age of going on missions to 18-year-olds. When I was 18, when I came out of high school, I had to pay for my own car. I had to pay for my own gas, my own insurance, my own girlfriends. Well, I mean going to the show and taking them to dinner and lunch. I didn't mean going down on the street corner and paying for my girlfriends. I had hair in those days, and I was, don't let this happen to you. Go look at that video. Don't let this happen to you. It has pictures of me in high school on it, and they're scary. Anyway, I knew I had to work my ass off when I came out of high school. I had to pay partial rent and utilities to my parents, and I had to be a responsible adult. I paid for all of my BYU education. My dad gave me $10 for an application for student housing. That was their donation. The rest of it I paid 100% for. Now, those were my choices when I came out of high school. If someone had walked up to me senior day, said, "Hey, new Caribou, Sultan of Utah, advisor to Mormon having questions." If someone had come up to me and said, "Hey, I got a good deal for you. How would you like to have 3 new 3-piece suits and a couple of nice Oxford shoes?" I go, "Hey, I can't afford that. I was in cut-off Levi's and old T-shirts. Give me some of that. I can handle that." I said, "Okay, here's what you get: free food, free housing, free transportation, and we're going to fly you to Puerto Rico or Peru or the Philippines somewhere, and you can see all of the beautiful people, and all you've got to do is talk to them about the Mormon Church. No work. You don't have to wash your car. You don't even have to clean your apartment. If you're living in the Philippines, you can hire a Filipino for 3 cents a day, and they'll clean everything, your laundry, etc. So, hey, right now I have to pay for housing, I have to pay for my car, I have to pay for expenses. I don't have any suits. I've never been to a third world country. Sounds kind of adventurous and fun. Hell, sign me up. There it is, folks. They're not going to give those teenagers between 18 and 19 one chance to get out in the real world, get into college, and get some real life experience, because many of them are going to say, screw that. I'm not going to get fungulitis on my vagina or on my penis in Peru. I don't want to die. The tiger's chasing me in Guatemala. So, it's a good deal. It's good to be able to persuade those young men and young women. Now let me tell you what the young women's motivation is. They didn't get married at 18, 19, or 20. They didn't get married, and they're embarrassed. They're afraid they're going to be an old maid. Well, if they go on a mission, they're surrounded with 40 or 50,000 young men their age. Is there a chance they might marry one of them? You bet your ass there is. So the women are motivated that way. The men are motivated that they don't have to work. They can come right out of high school and pretend that they're still living at home with the Mormon church supporting them. And that is the reason, I think, that the Mormon church lowered the age down to 18. So, I didn't want to live with boys in the same apartment and in the same room you know, for 2 years. I kind of liked the girls when I came out of high school, and you can see what that's done to me. So maybe a mission is better. I don't know, but I'm telling you what happened to me. And I went off to BYU, and that is not a real world life experience. That is still in the bubble. So, anyway, the church lowered their age to capture the young men, to entice them that they don't have to work, they don't have to go out and look for a job. The jobs that they're going to get are shit jobs, you know, McDonald's and you know, other restaurants. And I remember carrying wood, you know, for wood furnaces there in Massachusetts. So I know what it's like between 18 and 19. And I think that the Mormon church does too. They're a corporation, and they know that those young men, if they get a taste of real life, they're going to be up and gone. And the girls, you know, they're so afraid of being an old maid. If they're not married out of high school or within a year or two, you know, they do not fit in the cult. And the cult is a closed community. Now, again, I want to say to you, I'm changing subjects now, okay? Bipolar people do this. We jump from subject to subject, and people go, what the hell, he wasn't talking about that. But in our mind, it's connected. We're connected to everything. Okay, the meds are starting to work, so I'm just... Here's the Haldol Shuffle. If any of you... Thorazine in the butt. The new caribou. What can you do? Anyway, I said Romney would lose by a landslide. I was the only one saying landslide. Now, Obama has Florida. And I forget now if it's 338 electoral to 201 or whatever, or 301, whatever Romney had. This is a disgrace to the Mormon church to put up that kind of a clown. And I told you there were underground factors that the polls were not getting, and that there was a hatred for the Mormon cult, that when a person got in that polling booth, I don't care what they said on the exit poll or on the pre-poll, they pulled the handle for the black man. The black man beat the Mormon, and I was right. It's a landslide. Now let me leave one more thing with you here. I hope this sound is going through. I lost all the internet sounds on my computer, and that's a bitch, because I can't watch myself. So half my day, I have nothing to do. Okay, I can do the videos, and I think my voice is coming through on my videos, but when I click on anything on the internet, there's no sound. There's internal sound, the media, what's that, not the mass media, Windows Media or whatever. It plays my music, and that's fine in-house. But out in the internet, I'm screwed. So if I didn't come through and I'm just going to you, tell me. I don't want to keep making videos if there's no sound. Watching me just visually, I'm going to lose a lot of hits. So let me know. If I'm screwed up, let me know. If I'm not, I'll keep recording and try to find why my internet sound has disappeared. It may be the Danites. I don't know. Thanks.